Hey guys, Poplar Mechanic here. So I recently went to Calgary to take our stump grinder in to get fixed, and I stopped at Arborist Supply, picked myself up a Unicender, kind of an impulse buy. I know the Unicender's old, but I wanted to pick it up because I just never got a chance to try it. So we'll be taking a look at that today. I also got the drum as well from Climbing Innovations, and I'll show you guys all that stuff right now. Okay, so here's the bag. Arborist Supply Co. There's the number. Here's the site. Now, if you live in Canada, this is one of the cheapest places I've found to get gear. I absolutely just love it. Like some of my specialized gear, like the rope runner here, I order from the States, but from Tree Stuff, I got that. But for anything else, anything you can think of, this is the place to check out. All right. Let's take a look. So here it is, the Unicender. Comes with some instructions. Looks pretty cool. Very well built, very small on the rope. Looks to be smaller than the runner, I think it is. So I picked this up. And here's the drum by Climbing Innovations. Thanks Richard Mumford for the quick shipping on this, even though I live in Canada. So here's the drum. So it looks like you get a sticker in the bag. Here, we'll open it right up. So it just tells you can what comes with it. You can get the instructions on YouTube to install this. So it comes with that. He's actually went ahead and supplied the drill bit. So it comes with the drill bit you need. You get the sticker, of course, which is pretty cool. I'll be keeping that. Might have to throw that on the new Protos. And then you get 3 rivets. You could probably go with screws as well. I'm probably going to go with the rivets because I like the way they finish, and I don't have any screws that I want to put in this aluminum right now. And here's the drum. So essentially this just sits on top of here like this to help reduce wear when you wrap it around here to descend, as well as some other features like you can lock it off and stuff. But I'll get it put on and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm finished installing it. Okay guys, so before I put the drum on, I just wanted to test the device as is. So this is the Unicender in the single line configuration here. One thing I notice about it right away, it locks very readily. Like there's no slippage at all. It's completely locked on the rope, which is a good thing. One of the other things I noticed right off the hop, which I already knew about this, but I'm just explaining it to you guys. So there's no, you have to put your own bearings in here. People have been using skateboard bearings for a pulley and making a little capture in there. You can see that online anywhere. But yeah, because if you want to tend, you're rubbing against this and your rope can slip out and stuff, which is a little bit annoying. So I'm definitely going to be doing that bearing mod. That's coming next. So that's one of the things I noticed right away. Now obviously it's not like the rope runner. You can't just, I mean you can just pull like this, but you see it's you get to a free fall and it's really jerky because of how readily it grabs. So the method they want you to use is this method here. So what you do is you wrap the rope around here. This is my full body weight into this, and you just pull, and that collapses the Unicender, and then you can slowly just lower yourself like that. Now if you try to undo it, you're going to get a bit of slippage unless you do it quickly. I know you can put a tether on here to help facilitate with strumming, which is the next thing I'm going to show you. Okay, so strumming works like this. Now I'm not a pro at it or anything, because I just saw it on YouTube. But anyways, so you lower yourself, and then when you get to where you want to be, just like that, and you barely get any slippage at all. Obviously it takes some technique, and I will get better at it as time goes on. Okay guys, so this is how far I've gotten so far. Basically what I did was just sand this portion down, and the easiest way I found to do that was just lay some sandpaper on the bench, hold it flat, and then rub it like this, and you'll get rid of that anodization really quickly. That's just so when this sits on here, it's a little bit of a rougher surface, and the epoxy will bond better. So I've drilled these 2 holes. I mean, they're not perfect, I just eyed them up. They're not in the exact same spot. It doesn't much matter. It's just for these 2 rivets to go into. So what I'll do is I'll glue this down with some epoxy now, get it lined up exactly where I want it, let it harden, and then I'll proceed to drill through the drum until these seat in there flush with the bottom of the Unicender, and then I'll pop rivet them in there. And yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that so far, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay guys, so I've got the drum on the Unicender here. I'll show you what it looks like. Riveted her on, you can see a bit of the epoxy on there. It works pretty well. Okay, so with the drum, obviously you're going to get less wear. Let's turn this a little bit. So once you wrap it, see, this is one of the things I don't like about the Unicender. I like the drum, so you pull it. I don't like that sudden drop. It gives you a bit of a drop, but see, you can lower yourself, and then you also have the ability to lock it off. So you can lock it off with this drum. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. It just goes in. There's some ribs here in behind here. I'll show you, but yeah, you can see here it just locks off. So now it's in kind of descent mode, except you're locked off. So you could go around, you could work, you know, you could do whatever. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice feature, really well thought out. Okay guys, so it's a new day. I worked on the modifications on the Unicender this weekend, and I'll just show you what I did. So obviously I put the drum on, which I think I showed you guys, just 2 holes, pop rivets. I used some marine text to first glue it on and then drill the holes. The drum works good, I like it. Here's where you can capture the rope to lock it off on these ribs here. Now I did a couple other modifications. I had an extra rope runner pulley. So what I did was I drilled into here, used my tap and die set to make some threads, and then I just put a bolt in here I had kicking around to keep this locked on. I decided to keep this side, so there's a side on this pulley that swivels, and there's a side that stays firm. Now you can move this with some force, but for the most part it stays locked in. So that's just kind of a rope capture. It tends really smoothly. The bearing spins, obviously, it's what it does. So I did that, which makes it a million times better to use. Another thing I added, I drilled a hole in here and put this little screw in here. And the reason for that, well, I'll show you guys the reason for that when I put it on the rope, but basically what it does is, under any circumstance, keeps the pulley away from this bottom plate, so it can't ride up against there. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys the modifications, and I'll put it on the rope now, and I'll show you some of the things it can do. Okay, so I've got it on the rope now. So obviously this capture here keeps the rope in, and it tends really nicely. Another thing I like about this little set screw I put in, you guys can see it there, that keeps this pulley away, is as you're pulling this,
You see how it stops that tooth there, and it makes this rope come through here smoothly and straight, right? So you get a nice tend out of it. It's kind of hard to hold the camera here and do this at the same time, but anyways, you guys know how the pulley works. It just tends. One thing I did notice, could be my problem, I did put the drum a bit close because I wanted to, you know, mitigate as much wear as I could. Sometimes when you start to get under load, the rope does rub here and it does create some friction, but I mean, if you're climbing SRT, you shouldn't be trying to pull yourself up anyways. But yeah, so that's how that works. Everything else functions properly. So, you know, you can strum out of it. One thing I notice about that screw as well is there's not as much sit back. So if you're just hanging with your dead weight and you go to wrap it like this, there's some drop, but it's not as much. You see? To me it seems like it's a bit less because the thing doesn't collapse quite as far. And then you can strum out of it, works perfectly fine. You know, you want to do a limb walk. I don't know, I'm quite happy with the modification. This rope runner pulley worked well. And all I did was cut off this piece that went this way and then mount the pulley there. I don't know, guys, I think I'm going to use it. I'm starting to like it. Anyways, I'll show you another feature of this pulley. I'm just going to shut the camera off, set it up, and then I'll show you that it can 3-to-1 as well. Okay, so I just have it hooked through Pinto in the ceiling for 3-to-1. So this is obviously the way 3-to-1 works. You guys know how it works. See, so you can 3-to-1 yourself up. Much easier. And on top of that, this pulley stays, you can see, I'll show you guys when I pull this. You see how that pulley stays away and it locks instantly. That's what I love about this. It locks instantly. Now if you do the 3-to-1 with the rope runner, it can tend to give you a bit of drop, but this one's sweet. It locks instantly. I'll just take this out. So I thought that was pretty cool that I figured out a way to make the 3-to-1 work with that little set screw and this pulley. Everything seems solid. Obviously I'm going to have to get some use out of it, but I just wanted to show you guys my take on the pulley, and I'm glad I went with this more solid pulley because that ability to be able to 3-to-1 is awesome as well. I think I could get used to this, and I probably will end up using it. It's really nice. Nice and smooth, functions properly. For whatever reason, you can lock her off just like that. Works really nice. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and have a good weekend.